Good evening, all. I hope you had a good day. Thursday, February 19th. Let's get it right, Amanda. Man, I'm really proud of myself. I really am. Sometimes I surprise myself, but I'm also so hard on myself when it comes to like work. I go beast mode, because I am a perfectionist when it comes to certain things. In the work world, whatever industry I am, I'm just a perfectionist. Like I said, I compete with myself. And when I mess up or I miss something or I overlook something, or just whatever. It just depends, right? I always like to gain so much knowledge, right? That's the biggest thing for me, is like when I'm in a new industry and kind of figuring out how the industry operates, figuring out my footing in the industry, figuring out my niche in the craft, understanding the operational side of it. And I'm one of those people, like, I'm very hands-on. I learn. I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty fast learner. I definitely make mistakes, no doubt, but I'm very hands-on. I've come to realize that I'm very hands-on. But it's like the company I work for now, I'm just getting so more intricately involved in it, and I'm really enjoying that aspect of it, because it's just the holding myself accountable in reference to just being on the point where it's like line items and just like being on my A game. When I'm locked in, I'm like locked in, and it's like, I don't know, it's fun going through that portion of it. I like to see how far I can push myself. I really do. It's just something I've adopted in the last 15 years. I mean, it's one of those things. People in my world would probably venture to say the same thing if they were truly honest, in different industries that I've worked, different bosses that I've worked for that were threatened by me, little weirdos. That said, I'm just at a different place now. I'm just totally at peace with everything. And it's kind of like one of those things. It is what it is. I think when you are placed in circumstantial events and you're placed in certain seasons of your life for a reason, depending on whatever God has, trajectory for you, not to mention, God recognizes the reality around you. He recognizes the players that are in your life. He recognizes the intentions of them, right? You might not recognize that at first hand, but he does. And he also sees your heart in the mix of it, And so it's one of those things. I know that with every beacon fiber bone in my body. A lot of people don't know that, but I do. I know it. And so I know that there's been a lot of players, a lot of paid actors, a lot of people in my story that have played their part. And it's one of those things. It doesn't affect me anymore, because I've healed through it. I've moved on through it. I understand why everything has played out the way that it has, and why God's moving everything the way that he is. Unfortunately, it's not something I enjoy by any means. I never want to see people suffer. I want to help people heal. I want to help people evolve. I want people to let go of their past and their wrongdoing and just own it and quit pretending. But there's just people in this world that aren't quite ready to be at that place to look at that mirror. And so they're going to keep deflecting. They're going to keep manipulating. They're going to keep creating illusions. They're going to keep creating attacks. They're going to keep creating propaganda. They're going to keep creating everything they're doing right now. They're just going to. And it's one of those things. You just have to understand that this is just the world. And there's certain people that are at the level that they are at in their mindset, and it's just out of your control. And the only thing you have control over is your mind, your heart, your body, your soul, your faith, your belief, and how you move and operate in your day-to-day. That is what you have control over. You do indeed. And every good deed, every good intention, every good thought, every good every good, genuine thing that you do in your day-to-day does come back full circle. I can assure you of that, because it helps you live a life in peace, because you know you're operating in truth. You know you're operating in goodness. You know you're not out here doing wrong to people. You know you're not out here doing whatever to the neighbor, right? Like, I mean, again, love thy neighbor. It starts there. It starts there. And man, something came to me today. I'm so, just everything unraveling with Charlie Kirk, you know, and everything in reference to the investigation and his wife. And I can't wait to see what Candace uncovers. I think we're all going to have whiplash. And it's just so sad. It's so sad. I resonate with it all. And then now everything unraveling with the witches story and all that propaganda that hit. Yeah, there's been all kinds of people in my life in reference to that whole aspect of it. Dancing with the devil and doing witchcraft and all that crap. Like, this is what these people do. I mean, hello, they do ritualistic stuff. What are they doing to the children? I mean, Billie Eilish likes blood. She likes to drink blood. I mean, she made that a bit evidently clear. You know, so it's like, that's not normal. That's not normal behavior, right? What would you call that? That is demonic behavior. It is, right? That would be, and so it's like hearing Candace unravel all of that, and I know that's all entangled in it, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. I resonate with so much of it. You know, there's nothing like living in a world when you're surrounded by, you know, people trying to handle you. And it just never works out in their favor. It doesn't. And Charlie, I know he knew what was happening. I know he knew. He 100% knew. And he knew what was up with Erica. He did. She knows it. She does. And it's, you know, Charlie had, his positioning was quite different than mine. But I resonate with his entire story, and it breaks my heart. You know, I talk to God about that all the time, because, you know, I feel like he deserves to be here. I'm not saying I don't deserve to be here by any means. You know I'm walking out my purpose the way that God calls me to do every day, but it breaks my heart, you know. And another thing that came to me was, I know Candace would give anything just to have her friend back, have her brother back, right? She doesn't want to have to investigate this. She doesn't want to have to go peel back the layers in reference to what the FBI and our government should be doing to find the truth to actually what happened to Charlie, right? She doesn't want to do that. She'd rather have her friend back. And she's getting chastised for fighting for the truth in an investigation when she'd just prefer to have her friend back, right? And it's like, this is the world we live in. And we don't live in an upside down world. Please. I much rather would have just I much would have preferred, hindsight 2020, I much would have preferred everybody in my life that chose to be deceptive and dishonest and disingenuine to truly not be that way. I would have preferred that. I would prefer that now. You know, but I don't know. People make choices. They make decisions. They go along with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. Because so-and-so and so-and-so must be right. You know, on the day that my divorce was final, they did some funky stuff. And they've been doing this kind of stuff. I just am finally woken up to it. But that came to me on my way home. I was like, dang, you guys really are just very interesting individuals. Like, I just don't know how you just, like, pretend to be good people. It's really weird to me. It's crazy to me. And it's so crazy to me because I know they actually believe that they are good people. Just like Trump, he believes like America's great, man. The economy's, like, superb. It's amazing. Like, they do believe these things. They believe that doing this stuff to children is okay. They believe it. They believe there's nothing wrong with pedophilia. They believe it. And it's just like, these people, what are we going to do with them, man? We're going to learn to walk amongst them and not allow them to take your peace. That's what you're going to learn. That's how you're going to have to learn. That's the new world.